Join me as I step into some of the most haunted and mysterious places in the Philippines.
Wow. The whole roof is just caving in here. Jeez.
I don't know if I scare easily, but I had to find out. The Philippines tested me like never before. I stepped through abandoned halls of Clark Air Base Hospital, faced the haunted Diplomat Hotel, wandered the stone walls of Fort Santiago. I came chasing history, but what I found was surprising. So which of these is the scariest place in the Philippines? Stay with me and decide for yourself. So this is the part where we go into the morgue. Let's start in the north of the Philippines and go to Baguio City. We're going to look at the Diplomat Hotel. We're going to drive 5 hours south by car to Manila, Fort Santiago, into the dungeon, and then 3 hours up to Clark Air Base Hospital in Pampanga. So the location here in Baguio, right behind me, is known as the most or one of the most haunted places in the Philippines. This is known as the Diplomat Hotel. In World War II, Japan occupied most of the Philippines. And when they came here, this is one of their outposts. They used it for torturing different people, executions, and a lot of other atrocities. But not only does it have that stigma as one of the most haunted places in the film industry, this is a popular location to come to and film, especially with the mist and clouds, but I can definitely get that feeling. So there's a number of urban legends that people see a lot of ghosts, apparitions of nuns, phantoms that are headless, things like that, children playing in the corridors. These are a lot of the stories that people say they keep seeing when they come here. But as of 2024, visitors are no longer allowed inside the Diplomat Hotel, adding to this mystery. The bloodshed during World War II is believed to have caused the chilling paranormal activity, making it one of the most unsettling landmarks from that era. So welcome to Fort Santiago and a famous dungeon. Nearly 600 people lost their lives in 1945 here, trapped in these dungeons. I'm gonna go take a look. It's around 7:30 p.m. at night. I hardly see anybody around. It's 100 pesos to get inside. And so let's do it. I heard this place is a little bit haunted. I came for the history, but learned later it was a bit haunted. So let's go in and see. I may be the only one in there. So on the haunted part of this adventure, what are you going to see here? I looked up some stories, what people have said. The security guards here have reported screams at night from the dungeon, headless people, soldiers from World War II, sudden drops in temperature, unexplained screams, like I said before, and the ghost of Jose Rizal, which was a martyr that was killed here for his beliefs. He's a hero here. He has a memorial. Anyway, those are some of the stories and reports that I've been getting online. So let's see if that holds up or not. I kind of hope not, and I kind of do. I'm not sure. Let's go. So welcome to Fort Santiago. This is the dungeon, and it is pretty brutal here. One of the big stories is when the Japanese took over from 1942 to 1945. This was one of their prison centers. They tortured, they killed a lot of people. And like before, there's the white cross out there that remembers 600 souls that were trapped down here. Bless their heart. In horrible conditions. And the Allied forces found them in 1945. So what you're gonna find in here is a lot of pictures of the way it was in 1945 and before. They're gonna show you pictures of the church. So there is a legend down here about, they're not sure if it's true or not. This is close enough to the water, and they think possibly sometime, they don't have exact proof, that the tide would come in certain years and would suffocate and drown some of the prisoners in here. And like I said, that's more of a legend, but I can see it happening for sure. So this is what the Japanese uniform looked like. And Something just like that. So if you're squeamish, you might want to look away from this picture, but the 600 bodies that were in here, they have a picture apparently of what that looked like. The dungeons of Fort Santiago in 1945 when the Allies arrived. So there are 6 chambers to this dungeon, at least, that you can walk through. Now this was originally made back in the day in the 1600s for supplies and gunpowder, and then the 600 bodies, that's kind of the big story that people know, and there's a lot of haunted stories, ghost stories about this, and the victims in the dungeon here would normally suffocate, extremely cramped conditions. The dungeon chambers could comfortably accommodate only about 100 people, highlighting the severe overcrowding that led to the deaths. So what's left here? There's only about 30% that's real and 70% was reconstructed. The beams were reinforced, things like that. But when you walk in here, you're gonna see, yeah, it's about 30% is what I read is the original structure. So let's get on to the ghost tales. This is the first or the second most haunted place in the Philippines. I was at the Diplomat Hotel in Baguio. That I heard was the first, but this apparently might be tied for first. Anyway, there's a number of legends here. Jose Rizal, who was a martyr that was killed for his writings and his beliefs, was executed not far from here. People say they have seen him. They've seen kind of lifeless bodies, headless bodies walking through here at times. I just realized there's nobody here, someone's coming out. The list goes on and on about what people see or what they think they see. I've been walking in here for about 20 minutes and it's fine so far. I don't see anything in particular. So it's 7:30 at night and I'm sweating bullets, man. It is so hot down here. I can't even imagine during the day when they said before, maybe 100 people cramped in here. Yeah, no airflow. It had to be just horrible. Now, I'm in chamber 6 right now. These are all really small chambers. And man, it's super hot again in here. I can't even imagine the history here. They have some of the old walls, I think, from the original time. But anyway, let's keep going. So it's 7:54. I can officially say, because the dungeon is not that big, I'm the only one in here. There's no one else in here. It's a Tuesday. There were just a couple people who came in before, but I've been here now for 35 minutes. I haven't heard anything weird, seen anything weird, and I'm just hanging out here just to see, you know, the number 1 and the number 2 haunted place here. Not that I'm hoping for anything exactly, but yeah, besides just sweating a ton in here. And it's not even really that hot outside. In here, it's just, anyway, I keep talking about it too much, but whew, it's like a sauna. I'm trying to see if I hear footsteps. There's nobody in here. There's something, you know, it could be people upstairs though. Not that you can walk over this, but around. But really, yeah, I don't hear anything so far. So anyway, I'd tell you if I did. So I am now leaving the dungeon. So that's gonna wrap up Fort Santiago prison, dungeon, whatever you want to say. Really cool at night. And if you go up to the top of the prison, it's on the river and you're gonna get a great look at some of the buildings. They're burning something over here, if you can see the smoke, which is a little bit eerie in the background, but really cool. Good view, really easy to get to, really pretty at night. Not so much the dungeon in there with all the dark history, but in general, really cool. I highly recommend it. If you're in Manila, come at night, then maybe see this, go get some drinks or something like that. It's a little bit like Halloween. test your courage a little bit at night.
Last up, the Air Base Hospital in Clark, or Pampanga, about 2 hours north of Manila. The history: originally a U.S. military hospital used extensively during the Vietnam War. It was abandoned after the eruption of Mount Pinatubo in 1991. Hauntings? Well, visitors report sightings of ghostly soldiers, other shadowy figures, and eerie noises like whispers and footsteps echoing the decaying halls.
Hey guys, so welcome to another little adventure. I'm in Clark. There's a Clark Air Force Base. Behind me is a old hospital. It was the hospital for the military bases in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s until they left. And if you flip around here, the jungle's kind of taking it over a little bit. This is part of the hospital. I talked to a guy over here, security guard, and he told me this in here was the mental ward. And I'm gonna walk through here. I don't know what to expect really. I'm gonna go nice and slow. Wow, look at this. It's like totally creepy in here. Ooh. I have to be careful. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna flip it around. Wow. Wow. Making a lot of sounds right now. This is, wow. It's kind of freaking me out, to be honest with you. Flip it back around if you can hear me. I don't know how far to go. It's like each little passageway here in the room. Oh, I don't know. Whew. Let's try a different one. That was a little freaky. Tell me this is not freaky. I don't know if I can even make it down there without freaking out. And the reason why is I was in Thailand doing this, an abandoned hotel, and a guy came on a motorbike with like an old style rifle, and he was really nice, but it freaked me out because the guy actually had like a loaded gun. And I'm gonna go talk to this guy over here, make sure. I saw someone drive in there. I think it's just security though. But yeah. So I got some information for you. I can't believe I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it for you guys. This, around the corner here was the emergency room. Behind here was the morgue. Wow. Look how dark it gets in here. I'm gonna flip the camera around. So here's the beginning of the morgue. Whew. Okay, let's go in. Wow. Why is stuff leaking out of that? I have no idea. Wow. Oh, look at that. Why does it have to be so dark and... Whew. Flip the camera around. Whew. There's got to be some history in here. So if you're not familiar with some of the history, I think a lot of this was built around 1950, right This is kind of right after World War II. Spain was here before, and then the US came in. Oh my goodness. You guys see me here? So this is the morgue of the hospital. I'm at Clark Air Force Base, outside of Clark Air Force Base. And this is probably the freakiest thing, oh my God, I've done. I gotta show you this over here, in a long time. I don't know if I could do this, but there were some other people outside that are telling me that it's basically patrolled at some point. Wow. The whole roof is just caving in here. Now you can see the jungle here is just kind of taking over everything. I don't know why it hasn't really grown in here, but whew, whew, this whole right here wall just collapsed basically. So maybe in the comments you can give me any other places you've been that are kind of, I don't know if this is haunted, but definitely has that vibe. The history of this whole place. I mean, the Philippines is so underrated for World War II history. It's amazing. Shipwrecks, bunkers, Japanese World War II tunnels, you know, they dug into the ground there inside the mountain. Legendary tales of gold by the Yamashita, the general of the Japanese army, hiding away lost treasures. Oh, wow. So if you're wondering why this place closed, it's a pretty good story. One of the biggest eruptions in the last 100 years, Mount Pinatubo, that erupted, and so everyone here evacuated, including, you know, US military, everyone in, I'm thinking 100-mile radius, because I went over to Subic Bay, which is about an hour drive, and they evacuated too. And people that I talked to when that eruption went off, Mount Pinatubo, they said it looked like end of days, lightning, earthquakes. The weather was just erratic and crazy, sand, ash, everything you can imagine. Well, the sun is starting to set. It's about 6:23 p.m. right now. So I can't imagine a place right now a little bit scarier than this, but I'm gonna get out of here. My time is up. Hey guys, so that's gonna wrap it up for this episode, Traveling on the Go. I had a great time. Out of the three places, the scariest was the Air Base Hospital in Clark. Nobody was around. Went to the morgue and some other places. Kind of had a green glow in there. So definitely that was the scariest. And then a bonus location is near the Bataan World War II Museum as you're going to Batangas. And it's very just kind of eerie going to that school. The museum was amazing, but there's a little schoolhouse where they did a lot of tortures and other horrible things when the Japanese were there in World War II. But that's the bonus location, and that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I hope you had a great time going in these scary areas, and if you have any questions or comments, you never know unless you try. I'm out of here.